Guys, I am about to listen to Billy Breathes. It's been 2 weeks since I've listened to any new to me Phish music, and we're going to jump into this one. This one seems to be the one that everybody says has maybe been the most user-friendly. I see a ton of people say that this is their favorite album to me so far. Rift is still my favorite of the studio albums, but that said, a live one is my favorite album. So yeah, I've got to be honest. I just did this exact same thing a few moments ago, but the internet sort of crashed on me. So I already listened to Free. We're going to start it over. For continuity's sake, I'm just going to run through it again. So that's how it's going to go. Beforehand, I was making the comment that this didn't seem to have any really long jams in it. Like, they're all regularly sized songs, with the longest song on here being 6 minutes and 22 seconds. So I'm definitely pretty excited again to see what goes on here. A lot of people have said that their favorite songs from Phish, like Free and Waste, come from this album, so I'm very, very excited to see what this is about. I'm gonna hit the play button on this thing, but before I do, it's just very important to me that you know that you are awesome, that you are valuable, that you are important, that you matter, that you are deserving of love, and that I am abundantly grateful for even a moment of your time. If you like what you see, feel free to hit the like and the subscribe button. It goes a long way to help me out. If you really like what you see, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you, or join us on Twitch. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Arizona time. Come discover music with us. Guys, these people over here are the best, by the way, and they're going to be providing me context as I go through this thing. But without further ado, let's jump into Phish in a deja vu kind of way for those of us that are here live, but this is Free. Here we go. That tone that he comes in with, I'm doing exactly the same thing I did last time, but I can't get past that tone that he comes with this on this thing. It really does just sound so different. As you guys said last time, I think he got a new guitar. What's the name of the second guitar, by the way? That feedback coming in and then bang! Huge sound, dude. And then you've got the high pitch. Coa 1.
I'm floating in the blimp a lot. I feel the feeling I forgot. We're swimming weightless in the womb. We're bouncing gently round the room. In a minute I'll be free, and you'll be splashing in the sea.
So, as I was wondering the first time around about this, I'm floating in a blimp a lot. I'm floating in the blimp a lot. I feel the feelings I forgot. Does that mean like your head is in the clouds? That I didn't really know where to connect with that lyric beforehand, but to me now, as I'm hearing it, I'm feeling like maybe that's a concept. That's a way of saying, you know, my head is in the sound. My head is in the clouds. I feel the feeling I forgot, like being nostalgic about this thing that was there and isn't now. Yeah, and then swimming weightless in the womb, like this feeling of being reborn. But then again, bouncing gently around the room, like being self-referential to bouncing around the room, I think is so cool. In a minute, I'll be free, and we'll be splashing in the sea. That I don't quite know, but I definitely, yeah, it's about giving birth. I don't know. I really enjoyed that. But again, that they were self-referential to bouncing around the room is so cool to me. That dive bomb and then that bass line. Page's piano here. Trey had a that noise. So there's this like feedback sound, but with the wah pedal, and it sounds so cool. It's like, again, instead of like playing the guitar like with chords, the guitar makes sounds. Yeah, like the whale sound.
I'll be free, and you'll be splashing in the sea. We'll hear a time.
This bass tone is so
the ship goes sliding by. Free.
Emotion. I'm telling you, I cannot unhear it. I'm not trying to make crappy comparisons or anything like that. Sweet Emotion's a great song. I 100% cannot help but hear Sweet Emotion right there. But that piano run is amazing. And then that tone. That guitar sounds so much. So the bass line there, I really just that it really kind of walks the whole time, and then there's that slap moment, like, so you have this slap that walks into it, and while that's kind of one thing again, every time I listen to Phish, like when I go back and hear a song again, I hear the parts that I was missing beforehand. And yeah, I could absolutely see how this would turn into a jam vehicle with those like free moments and then the instrumentals in between them. Absolutely. Like the huge guitar sound, but they all shine in this part. Transition the harmonies here. The drums there were tasty. What's so cool to me about this one as an opener is it really does set the tone with a crazy huge guitar tone. Like there's just that huge boom boom, and it's such an aggressive sound for that guy to be making. When you've heard what he's done before, they don't typically have these heavily overdriven, like he made like when he solos and stuff, but he doesn't necessarily have that like chugging sound. So to have such a full like open chord kind of sound there was, I guess maybe that song definitely has like kind of a heavier chunk to it, but I don't know. It definitely this particular one, and again, to be able to see it coming from the jam vehicle idea, having those instrumental breakdowns in the middle, horn, yeah. No, this was super, super good. I also, again, I like this idea. Again, to me, this idea of I'm floating in a blimp a lot. I feel the feelings I forgot. Like, to me, that's just a way of saying my head is in the clouds, and I'm remembering this feeling, which is good to me. Like in kind of a nostalgic way. I don't know. There's something really wonderful about that. It's almost ethereal in its nature with the writing part. And again, there's kind of a beauty to that imagery. I really liked it. Bang. Next song. I think that's kind of the beauty of writing, though. Like, when you write abstract, everybody gets to have different meanings, and it can make sense to them. Like, it gets to impact people differently. And I feel like that's what it kind of makes writing special, is like an artist writes something that means something to him or about somebody from whichever perspective that artist chooses, and other people hear that or read that or see that, and they relate to it because of something that they've been through in their experience. And yeah, that to me is really cool, like, because you don't have to know why it was written for it to make sense to you. Like, that's kind of the beauty of art, is that it speaks to everybody in every language, and conventionally louder than words. So I think it's just kind of the beauty behind the communicative nature of art. Yeah. Character 0.
I was taught a month ago to bide my time and take it slow.
Ooh, I love this acoustic set. Well, no, maybe it's not. Maybe he is.
Just yesterday.
Oh.
To rush and never waste the day.
Ooh.
Now I'm convinced the whole day long that all I learn is always wrong.
Oh, man.
And things are true that I forget.
These
No
toms.
one taught that to me yet.
I'm pausing it here because it's right before a transition. There's a lot of things happening that I really, really, really like this one. One thing I really like about this is it seems very introspective. And I think that lyrical Phish has always very much stood out to me. There's that bluesy element with the finger picking, and I think it's maybe actually just his regular guitar played like in like more of a jazzy style, like a very clean sound. But yeah, I think just this, I was taught a month ago to bide my time and take it slow. But then I learned just yesterday to rush and never waste the day. Well, I'm convinced, like, it's like you're getting conflicting opinions here, or conflicting pieces of advice, right? I'm convinced the whole day long that all I learn is always wrong. And I can absolutely remember feeling that way. Like, anytime I feel stupid, yeah, I just... No one taught that to me yet. I feel like we all kind of get to a certain age and you have these epiphanies about your life, and I just see myself kind of having my own adulthood realizations, especially post-sobriety, like after becoming a sober person, just having these realizations like, wow, maybe I was wrong the whole time and I was just making myself the victim of something that I created. Boom. I don't know. To me, this I kind of see that in this. The bass in the back
then all
here.
I learn is always wrong. The things are true that I forget, but no one taught that to me yet. I'll see the man walking.
So there's a couple of thoughts I have about this song. Lyrically, I love it, right? Like, there is a distinct separation of this sound from Phish's other sound, though, and I think it's in that separation I'm finding myself have a little bit of a divide here. Where's the mustard? Where's the jam vehicle? You know, those things. Where's the tension and the release? But what I'm finding that I enjoy about this on the other side, again, is the depth of lyricism and the relatability that I have to this. I'm not sure what I ought to see the man Mulcahy is. I don't know quite what that part means. The other things I very much like. But I hear a distinctly different sound. It sounds a whole lot like Trey decided in this song to play more rhythm heavy stuff than exclusively kind of like his dynamic riffy stuff. And again, I'm not dunking on it. I'm not saying it's bad. There isn't a bad Phish song that I've heard yet. But what I am saying is that it's a different sound than what I've listened to up to this point. It's exciting, and it's exciting in its difference, but it's different.
I see the man Mulcahy. 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 Mulcahy. I see the man Mulcahy.
Okay. I like that. I like that. I'm going to go back and we're going to listen to that again. The reason I want to go back and hear it again, though, there is tremendous interworking between Trey and Page here. Like, when Trey bends, right after the bend is finished, you hear a piano strike. And they do that so frequently that is very exciting to me. Because, again, there's just an added, like, almost one finishes the other. I don't know. It's like finishing each other's musical sentences. Love it. The wah pedal there. This thing is... You hear that? The noise, like the background sounds, you're like the... The guitar is kind of doing it too. There's a really high pitch one, like shouting in the background. Do you hear that? That was kind of cool, honestly. So there's elements of of Phish that I really miss in this album thus far, but I would also say that other albums miss lyrically where this one is hitting. So there's an interesting like pros and cons to the journey so far. But that this has been kind of the most riffy rockin' jam. Like this is just a song. Like this could fit on radio, and I guess that there is an element to that makes it a bit more user friendly. And maybe that's why this album seems to be so polarized among the fanhood. I don't know. I enjoyed it though. I get, but in kind of like the lyrics hit me, and there isn't a bad Phish song, but it wasn't by any stretch of the imagination my favorite. So the next one is Waste. This is one I've heard a lot of people talk about. Oh, it's an acoustic one. Hang on. Love that.
Don't wanna be an actor pretending on the stage.
Definitely feels intimate here.
Don't wanna be a writer with my thoughts out on the page. Don't wanna be a painter, 'cause everyone comes to look. Don't wanna be anything where my life's an open book. A dream, it's true, but I'd see it through if I could be.
Oh, wow.
Wasting my time.
Dang.
With you.
Dang. Love songs always really hit me, you know? And it's weird because I don't remember this always being the case in my life, but there's just this element of like I hear love songs, whether they're heartbreak songs or songs written like to the object of one's affection, and they both make me sad in a way, I guess, or longing in a way, I guess, like what I would give to have a person to waste my time with, you know? And the idea of like somebody wanting to waste their time with me is like the desire of my heart, you know? And I don't, it just, man, let's run it back. I just, wow.
Don't wanna be an actor pretending on the stage. Don't wanna be a writer with my thoughts out on the page. Don't wanna be a painter, 'cause everyone comes to look. Don't wanna be anything where my life's an open book.
Which is so...
A dream, it's true, but I'd see it through if I could be
that, it just...
wasting my time with you.
That if I could be like where it comes in high again, just adds this kind of ethereal mood to the whole thing. And then the piano kind of just behind just this really amazing acoustic guitar is awesome. You know, and again, just this idea like he is a guy whose job it is to be on a stage, you know? He is a guy who like writes, and so there's just this idea of, you know, he doesn't want these things that he is. But it's okay. Dang, man. Dang.
A a dream, it's true, but I'd see it through if I could be.
I loved that part, man. And what I would give to waste my time with a person who wanted to waste their time with me, you know?
Working in the sun. Don't wanna be an outlaw, always on the run. Don't wanna be a climber, reaching for the top. Don't wanna be anything where I don't know when to stop.
That tone change
It's true,
kind of serves as like a soft transition into a new spot.
but I'd see.
The droning behind.
If I could be,
I love that part.
wasting my time with you. So if I'm inside,
Is that a horn?
don't believe what you might have read. You'll see what I might have said. To hear it, come waste your time with me.
Oh, man.
Come waste your time with me.
And then the piano transition. The bass line there.
So if I'm inside your head, don't believe what you might have read. You'll see what I might have said. To hear it, come waste your time.
This part right here. There's just, man, like, what a way to say that, right? Like, because at the end of the day, like, that is the case, like, marriage and love, and you know, partnership, romance, whatever, in its most basic, in the idle nothingness of like the in-between, the big feelings is like wasting time together. And like there's something so simple and eloquent about phrasing it that way, because it's not like he's being verbose here, come waste your time with me, but that idea carries very heavy, like a very heavy emotional magnitude to it. There is this idea that, you know, romance will die, but your friendship between that romance, you know, will always be there, and hopefully romance rekindles as things go, because everything is an ebb and flow. And this idea of what happens in between that, the sweet nothings of life, right? Like just the idle thing. Like what a desire to have. And you know, like again, I've commented before on how like lyrical Phish has really articulated so many of the things I have felt, like especially starting at Rift and then, you know, with Hoist and now Billy Breeze. I feel like I'm seeing phases of my life as we go. You know, where I was, where I've been, where I'm now and trying to go, and like seeing these different phases laid out through lyricism as time goes by has just been really I mean, it's been an interesting ride, and it kind of feels like reading the words of somebody who walked my shoes. Even to the point of articulating the desires of my heart, I guess. Man.
Come waste your time with me. Come waste your time with me.
And the piano here just is soul uplifting. I think it's hilarious that you say it that way. Same band that wrote Yum. You know, like You Enjoy Myself. I've made this comment quite a bit. Listening to Giz especially, like, you know, you hear a song like Dragon, which is super crazy thrash metal, and then you hear a song like Catching Smoke, which is like synth pop. And it's crazy that, you know, they're both the same guys. And in this context, yeah, like the same guys that say Wash Shufizi, Drive Me to Varenzi are laying down this just beautiful ballad. You know what I mean? And like, I know ballad Phish has always like touched me, but to see the way that they go about that, you know, having the ability to be super goofy and, you know, have their inside jokes in the same way that Giz has the ability to like write lore about dragons and wizardry, and then they can write songs about like being a father, becoming a father for the first time, and like going through breakups, whatever. Like those things are all there, and Phish does that in just different ways. And I think that that's why I like it so much, is because when they take themselves seriously, like they're still at the end of the day musicians that like write songs about heartbreak and love, as well as using their powers for you know, some crazy fun things. There's just a beauty to this that I really, really, really find, like an integrity and a conviction that comes with it. I love it. And for the record, this might be one of the best like songs. Like this might be actually the song I suggest somebody listen to hear Phish for the first. Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to think more on that, but. I can absolutely see why this one is so significant.
Don't believe what you might have read.
I don't know what
I might have said.
The might have read part is going for it.
To hear it. Come waste your time with me. Come waste your time with me. Come waste your time with me.
This outro is just amazing, dude.
Come waste your time with
The background, the bass, the guitar. Oh.
your time with me. Come waste your time with me. Come waste your time with me. Come waste your time.
I want to go back. I feel like I'm hearing a sitar, like a baby sitar or something, or maybe maybe a banjo, but there's like a ping ponging sound here. It's a banjo.
Come waste your time. Come waste your time with me. Come waste.
I love that little bit of banjo there. That was super nice. Bella Fleck banjo. Such a nice little tasty thing that like a lot of ears wouldn't catch. But man, that banjo really does just add a flavor to it. Waste is one of the best Phish songs I've ever heard. It's absolutely one of the best. Like, in a live context, I could absolutely see this being a song that, like, people get saved to listening to. Or even just, like, having a person to share that moment with. Like, if you go to a concert with your sweetie, or, you know, if you go there and you just have a moment where you kind of relate to a lot of people feeling ways that I'm describing of wanting that feeling and not having it and feeling understood because they long for a feeling like that of a person to waste their time with them. There's something really beautiful about this. And when again, I think Ballad Phish is tried and true, just kind of spoken to me deeply, especially in the last 3 albums, the last 3 being this one, Hoist and Rift, last 3 chronologically speaking. But truly, this was one of the best songs, period. Genuinely one of the best ones, period. Waste is so good. Waste into taste. Got it. Yeah, by the way, guys, if you didn't know, Andy Michaels is on JEMP Radio, and or Michaels. Sorry, not Michaels. Andy is on JEMP Radio, and he is doing his live show on Saturday. I will be joining him after this here reaction, so about 2 hours from now, or, you know, in the past if you're in the future watching on YouTube. Guys, I'm going to go run it back. This is Taste.
I'm up, and I can't take what you give, and I'm here.
Oh.
I want you to live.
Here's Phish.
'Cause all I want is a taste for free.
This is another one of those things where it kind of feels like they're being self-referential to the very first song on this, because all I want is a taste for free, you know. But at the same time, like, the rhythms being so unique. Yep, polyrhythms. Come on. You say a word a lot, and people are like, you're polyrhythmic, Walt.
I'm up, and I can't take what you give, and I'm here. But I don't want you to live with me, 'cause all I want is a taste for free.
I just love the way that breaks down.
I'm down, and I will drag you along and around.
The bass behind it.
Until you burst into song and unwind, and leave your new life behind for a while.
This is absolutely so, like, the things that this is a Phish song. And again, the way that they're singing in this rhythm is definitely just throwing my head for like a loop. I'm up and I can't take what you give, and I'm here, but I don't want you to live with me, because all I want is a taste for free. Like, that's actually kind of a hard song. If he's talking about like a one-night stand scenario, I'm down and I will drag you along and around until you burst into a song and unwind and leave your new life behind for a while, because I can see through the lines. Man, this is actually a very wordy thing. This is 100% like a Phish song, but it's like they've evolved.
And leave your new life behind for a while. 'Cause I can't see through the lines. I can't see through the lines.
Oh.
I'm down, and I will drag you along and around until you burst into song and unwind, and leave your new life behind for a while. I'm out, and I will stay here alone and without someone controlled by the phone or TV. 'Cause what it it's doing to me.
It froze. I'm pausing it. Just checking. We good? We good? Are we back? Try refreshing. We should be good. Okay.
It's fine, cause what it's doing to me is fine. Cause I can't see through the lines.
I can't get past how much is happening between the bass and between the piano, just doing this like almost like a crescendo-y thing.
Cause I can't see through the lines. I can't see through the lines.
So that transition, I'm out and I will stay here alone and without. Someone controlled by the phone and TV, because what it's doing is to me is fine. Someone controlled by the phone and TV, like I am controlled. Wait, I am out and I will stay here alone and without someone controlled by the phone and TV, because what it's doing to me is fine. Because I can see, wow. This is some of their best lyricism yet. Like, this album, so good. What is the correct, what are the correct lyrics, if you don't mind my asking?
Step into space. Alter my place.
Kind of a funky, jazzy transition.
Why I have stayed into things I could be, or if I could see into fog that surrounds and pins me to the ground.
I can't see.
I gotta be honest, that part was a little, this part is like, Giz might be a little Phish coded. Like, I know that I don't believe anybody in Giz has ever said Phish was their favorite band, but this part right here
Why I have stayed
reminds me of a little of Raw Feel a little bit.
or if I could see into fog that surrounds and pins me to the ground.
I can't see through the lines.
So my thoughts can finally realize their purpose.
I can't see through the lines. I can't see through the lines. I can't see through the lines.
I want to hear that transition again. That was wonderful.
Can't see through the lines.
Yes. Oh man, this is definitely a good one for an improv vehicle, for sure. A jam vehicle, let's go. We're just squirting that mustard bottle right now. Do the fans clap to this part when they jam? It's going up so high, and they're still not giving it to us. We're back to Phish. it doesn't come to like a resolve other than it like ends. Friggin' edgelords, they just left me hanging there. We got kind of blue-balled on that one. We kind of... But... It didn't... Yeah... The way that they bring it down, though, it almost seems like it sounds like it's a live set to me. Like, especially the way that the drums are there, the way they tuned the drums in production there, it sounds like, I know it's studio, trust me, but the way like you can hear there an openness to that sound. Right there. That sounds like the drums are outside. I know that they're inside of doors, but they edited the drum sound to make it sound like those drums were outside of doors. Which, again, it's the way that I just... It's a good drum sound, dude. It's a really good drum sound. Taste was fantastic as well. I really, really, really liked this. We're 4 for 4 through the first 4. Absolutely friggin' yes. I'm a fan. I have to let an ad go through really quick, so I'm going to go pee. I will be right back. Ad break is over, and we're going to hop back into Cars, Trucks, Buses. Here we go. Let's go. CTB. Seems like this is an instrumental, potentially. Is this the Hammond? Ooh. The jazzy, kind of funkadelic sound. Maybe not funkadelic yet. I love that he's just riding the bell of this ride. Ooh. Oh man, I really love that. This has got to be a good jam. I love this. The chairman of the boards. The back and forth between Page and Shrey, especially with the wah here, is nice. This grand piano sound is so tasty. That was too much fun, dude. I loved that one. And so the other thing is, they all kind of got a chance to shine. This was definitely like a Page song, right? But like hearing the inner working between the conversation of guitar and keys, right? Hearing this bass being the heartbeat behind the whole thing, and then just this nice standard like running guitar or drum beat, and again the pans on the drum. So like when he does his runs, you hear it go from left to right. It's wonderful. I've been getting into a lot more jazz lately, and this is just right in the alley of what's been in my ears. Yeah. And just this fuzzy guitar sound behind it, but it's not mixed to the point that it gets in the way. It just accents it. Yeah, that was just such a good one. I loved every bit of it. And this one is Talk. Ooh. Kind of seems like another ballad, maybe.
I can't talk my talk with you.
Ah, I love that.
Nothing's ever soaking through the filter that surrounds your thoughts and holds out lessons left untaught. I can't talk my talk with you.
The keys coming in. This is a kind of a different side of Trey's voice than I've seen before. Like, I can't talk my talk. There's almost like I know I've made the reference in comparison before, but there's like a bit of an Elliott Smith vibe in the guitar sound to me. There's this artist called Badly Drawn Boy that came way after Phish, but I kind of get a vibe of Badly Drawn Boy from this as well. But yeah, that my talk
with you. Nothing's ever soaking through the filter that surrounds your thoughts.
And the rhyme
and
scheme.
Holds out lessons left untaught. I can't talk my talk with you.
The rhyme scheme and the way that the lyrics flow is just so good.
The filter that surrounds your thoughts and holds out lessons left untaught. I can't talk my talk with you.
And then this. It goes from this happy sound to this like kind of tense sound in the piano, right? Like with the keys here. There was that. I always get nervous to say dissonance because everybody's like, he always says dissonant and discordant, but that's the word. Like right there.
I can't talk my talk.
The filter that surrounds your thoughts. And again, this idea, I feel like it's such a relatable thing. I can't talk my talk with you. Nothing's ever soaking through. Like nothing I say makes a difference. The filter that surrounds your thoughts and holds out lessons left untaught. Like you've set yourself up. You're talking to a person who has situated themselves to not hear anything or learn anything and try to move forward. So yeah, there's just a nice concept here. And again, it's so relatable because we've all been there. Felt like nothing we said mattered or got through, and we just kind of left there with whatever.
My song with you. Nothing's ever soaking through the filter that surrounds your thoughts.
That high key part on the piano.
I can't sing my song.
The accents with the piano make me so happy in this.
Nothing's ever soaking through the filter that surrounds your thoughts. and holds out lessons left untaught. I can't sing my song with you.
Oh, this is so good. This is one of my favorite lyrically, and it kind of doesn't seem too far removed from Lengthwise in its own way. The way it's ending out.
I can't talk my talk.
Such an underrated one. As far as, like, I've never heard somebody suggest the song Talk to Me, which is kind of sad. You know, and again, I made the comparison to Lengthwise, and I say it because there wasn't necessarily verse, chorus structure to this one. It's almost just kind of like he's writing his thoughts, and I similar. When you're there, I sleep lengthwise, and when you're gone, I sleep diagonal in my bed. It's the same kind of idea. I can't talk talk with you. Nothing. Like, he just repeats this idea. And you know, it's a bit more of a song, right? Like, it's a bit more pieced together, but it's lacking structure in its repetition in this idea. I think really reinforces that there is this heaviness to it, like this sitting alone introspectively and kind of just feeling like, because we've all kind of sat there and thought about how our communications weren't getting through to our significant others, and I think this is just so very, you know, I mean, it's a definitive experience of the human condition. You know, you will have it at some point or another, and so. Yeah, again, I very much enjoyed this one in a pretty similar way to Lengthwise. This didn't hit me so between the eyes as Lengthwise did, because I'm currently a guy that sleeps diagonally. But this, I think, really painted a picture into so many moments of my life. And, you know, I'm sure that can be said about a lot of you guys, too. The relatability behind the lyricism is just so solid. Theme from the bottom. Oh. This bass line. Like, it's playing bass doubles.
I feed from the bottom, you feed from the top. I live upon morsels you happen to drop. Coffee that somehow leaks out of your cup. If nothing comes down, then I'm forced to swim up.
I love the contrast between the piano and the bass here. Like, and you have the heartbeat being carried with the drums here, with this hi-hat and kind of the snare rim, but I feed from the bottom and you feed from the top. Like, I live upon morsels you happen to drop, and coffee that somehow leaks out of your cup. If nothing comes down, then I'm forced to swim up. It's like being the mistreated one in a relationship.
I feed from the bottom, you feed from the top. I live upon morsels you happen to drop. Coffee that somehow leaks out of your cup. If nothing comes down, then I'm forced to swim up. On the way upwards, the colors come back, but all on the bottom is blue, gray, and black.
The sound here is so cheerfully melancholic that I find myself being particularly moved, because there is this tension that is brought about between the bass and the piano, but it sounds happy, but kind of like a smirk more than a smile happy. You know, maybe not a smirk, but maybe like a feigned smile. You know what I mean? Kind of like, I don't know, but this is the sound of what it is like when you act like you're okay and you're really not.
Darkness is cold and perception goes wrong, and the night seems to go on incredibly long. So I ask you why I'm swimming by. Don't you see anything that you'd like to try?
I loved every bit of that. And don't you see anything you'd like to try?
Perception goes wrong, and the night seems to go on.
There's the laugh.
Long. So I ask you I'm swimming by.
I love that. So I ask.
Don't you see anything that you'd like to try?
That bass transitioning too. Do-do-do.
Pantomime mixtures of heaven and earth, jumbled events that have less than no worth. Time in the forest to dig under rocks, or float in the ocean, asleep in a box.
Man, so I ask you why if I'm swimming by, don't you see anything you'd like to try? So it kind of, again, I saw in the chat people were commenting on the idea that this was about like a fish, but like with get like a fish, not like fish, but. And while it could be, and you know, it's hilariously enough something I'm just making connections to because, you know, I'm a vain person that reads lyrics and makes it everything about us, or everything is about me. Just again, I think I can at least relate to feeling like I'm kind of swimming through life and just not really paying attention or paying attention to the things I'm passing. And I definitely feel like that was the case in my past. Pantomime mixtures of heaven and earth. I love that imagery too. Jumbled events that have less than no worth. Like, yeah, swimming by in life. Like time in the forest to dig under rocks. Like you go to the forest and you're digging for, oh man, or float in the ocean asleep in a box. Or sink just below the churning and froth and swim to the light. So, gah.
Sink just below all the churning and froth. Swim to the light source or fly like a moth.
The wah guitar there in the background too. But I think the beauty of abstract lyricism is it inspires you to try to draw a meaning, and when you connect it to how you feel about yourself. Or in your life, I think that's the beautiful part about art. I think, again, that's when I've looked into Bob Dylan's work, that's the thing that shouts out to me the most, is like, it could be from any kind of perspective you can relate. So, yeah, I love this.
Swim to the light source or fly like a
The wah guitar there.
So toss away stuff you don't need in the end, but keep what's important and know who's your friend.
What a line! So toss away stuff you don't need in the end, but keep what's important and know who's your friend. That is the phase of life I am in right now. Those two lines are where I am at. And again, I think that is why maybe so much of what Phish has maybe listening to Phish has brought to my life has been so relevant to me in this place of my life, right? Like, I have been in a pretty massive change of life over the last 4 years, from like a divorce to moving across the country to switching careers because I was miserable working in finance. Now I work at home, and it's just me, and I'm all alone. And I started this hobby listening to songs and albums because I enjoy listening to albums, and I found people that were like-minded and like discovering music and wanted to listen to albums. And so much of me ridding the baggage of my past is like moving forward, kind of learning how to forgive myself for the way I was, learning how to try to become a different person, kind of reassigning my default mode network to not every time something bad happens, I want to go get, lit up. And that is a difficult part of life to navigate. Like, I'm not going to lie. It comes with a lot of hardship and loneliness, and like, I liked myself better when I was a drunk stoner, whatever the case may be. But and again, I don't have the same relationships with people I used to in my life, and that's sad to me. But at the same time, when I look at this, and so toss away the stuff you don't need in the end, but keep what's important and know who's your friend. Like, in this phase of my life, I've had tremendously to lean on my family and the people that care about me. I've had to confront myself, which was made much easier because people that know me saw my struggles and wanted to help. And at the end of the day, I was the thing that was getting in my way. And so much of that was because I was carrying baggage and of the way I was, and those two lines, man, they're just, those two lines to me. I mean, dude. And the same goes for you. Toss the stuff you don't need away. This is huge. This is so good.
So toss
Sorry to be so verbose there.
But keep what's important and know who's your friend. So I ask you why.
Wow.
Swimming by. Don't you see anything that you'd like to try?
This is such a good song, dude. Oh. The palm muting in the back, transitioning into the lead. The conversation between Paige and Trey here. There was a note there. I'm pausing it. I'm just going to go back to the beginning of that instrumental, but that... The tone is so big, and then it transitions so delicately into being soft but squealy. Such an uplifting instrumental after that. It's like the clarity of epiphany. much I love the keys in this album. The way they punch into the mix have been amazing. Getting a little mustard on this. And they all came in, one by one. Oh, man. I want to hear that again. Because you go from this big, huge guitar tone, right? Like this massively mega sound. And again, this has been such a step in a different direction for Trey's guitar sound coming from the albums, right? So again, even in a live one, his tone didn't sound like it had this many balls, right? Like this much balls, whatever you want to say. However, whatever the grammatically correct way to say something has much ball to it, like whatever that is, the guitar tone has completely changed in a different way. It still sounds like Trey, but like if you filled in Trey's tone with a little bit of presence. And yeah, hearing that still be distinctly Trey, but like with the beefier voice, and then you hear the further dynamics that this album has presented with his guitar tone, because he didn't have nearly the same from the bottom. He didn't have nearly the same heavy standard there, but then you get to this, like going from that mega huge sound just down to from the bottom. It's so cool. And then you've got all four of them doing something different. From. And then one by one, the instruments come in. There's the guitar. It's just such a cool way to end that song. It's so nice. Thank you so much for following, Fluff. This song has been gnarly, dude. And then this big chaos. Bonk. This was, honestly, realistically, guys, that might have been to me song of the album. But then Waste and Taste as well. This one is very much lyrically spoken to me. And while the instrumentation has been good and there's been good tension and release moments, they're not nearly the same kinds of tension and release moments. It's you know, each song has definitely been, you know, different, but this has just added elements to them that I haven't seen done before. But I think that the thing with Theme about connecting so deeply to that one particular lyric, this part right here, but so toss away the stuff you don't need in the end. Like, theme of the album. I mean, point blank, just because before this, you're kind of talking about things that like are the things that you should be leaving behind, you know? And it's almost like there's the tension and then theme in that ending that I said kind of sounded a little bit like the music of an epiphany. That ending is kind of like the release there. So yeah, I don't know. Well, next song is Train Song. So here we go.
On the way home, we felt we had a chance.
Oh, this is different.
To review the codes before we were born, and to invite a new game of cans.
Can somebody give me the lyrics on Genius for this?
Absorbed in the clouds, a voice from afar said,
I like
with
Mike's
the right
voice.
device, you can make a pattern grow, or you can tune up your...
I want to hear this again.
On the way home, we felt we had a chance to review the codes before we were born, and to invite a new game of cans.
I love that I like that I get a bluegrass idea here.
In the clouds, a voice from afar said, with the right device, you can make a pattern grow, or you can tune up your car. So we stayed on the train, admiring the time, as the lights of the city drew near. We drank a little wine. They were blurry and green, outer space in between.
Give me a moment. I want to visit the lyrics. I know I wasn't paying attention because it's in G and I wanted to play harmonica to it, but give me a break. All the way home, we felt we had a chance to review the codes before we were born, and to invite a new game of can. I'm actually just going to run it back. You guys can deal. I love this sound so much.
On the way home, we felt we had a chance to review the codes before we were born, and to invite a new game of cans.
They're talking about coulds and can'ts. Oh.
Absorbed in the clouds, a voice from afar said, with the right device, you can make a pattern grow, or you can tune up your car.
Dude, this is a really cool one. The concept of coulds and can'ts is right up there with the concept of woulds and won'ts, you know? And just this idea of a new game of can'ts. I just love the way he did that. Absorbed in the clouds, a voice said from afar, with the right device, you can make a pattern. I wonder if he means the right advice, you can make a pattern grow, or you can tune up your car. I'm not quite sure, but man, I definitely, either which way, with the right device, you can make a pattern grow, or you can tune up your car. Maybe, I don't know. The right device, though, it's probably correct. I like his lyrics, though.
So we stayed on the train, admiring
the swells there.
As the lights of the city drew near, we drank a little wine.
Am I hearing the spoons?
Green outer space in between, with a depth in a form unclear. Then we saw it up ahead.
I love this presence,
a flickering
that swell presence
on the tracks, in the rugs that had covered up the bridge. From the banks of a river to the bed of a valley upstream, to the place where you live.
That bass swell. It's like a xylophone?
The glass on the lantern cast back the sight of a drive-in movie we drove by below. We saw where we'd been and the pictures within, projecting all the places we would go. So we followed the scene and flowed up your steps to a smooth wooden floor in a trance.
This is...
Train whistle melody wove through the trees and in through the door to signal the turns of a dance.
I like that they kept the laugh in there. And then the brush sound. There's something really, really, really nice about that, just that, you know, Southern Appalachian harmony sound. I really, really, really enjoy it. But there's also a little bit, again, I would say cheerful melancholy, but it seems like, again, it's more happy than sad in this case. To me, it kind of made me feel like it's that like a phase of finding love after a big separation and split, like where you're kind of ready to get back out there again. Yeah, there's kind of a playfulness to it, but also kind of like some melancholy to it. But also, I think that they intend to present a little bit of tension with it. It sounded so happy, but they made that have such a deep presence of like, you know, don't be too happy now. It just very nice. Really, really dug that. Is there lyrics for Bliss that I'm missing? Got it. Ooh. He plays a Martin D28 when he plays acoustic. I love the presence of this, just this kind of like, this is gonna sound, well, take this how you will. When I was growing up, I went to church, and when we would do worship services, there would be occasions where, like, you know, it would get really quiet, and there was just kind of like atmospheric ambient, guitar picking done, and it would be like, you know, come to the altar kind of moment. And this music reminds me of those moments where I would go to the altar, and like, you know, pray. You have this kind of big ethereal acoustic sound, and it 100% feels like this is one of those types of moments. To me, it sounds the same way and kind of conveys a little bit of the same kind of emotion that I would feel in those moments. I really just, I kind of like that. There's just that softness. Because I think that there is a certain truth about, oh, that bass line carried it from one end to the other. This is Billy Breathes. Oh.
Tumbling greens and pickup screams alone above the square. Whoa, sing softly above the trees where Billy breathes. We float upon the air.
in motion means I'll wake you when we're there. Whoa, sing softly. Time it seems in broken dreams to sleep beside the stair. Whoa,
that I loved the way that there was just this like church music kind of sound to me in Bliss, and then that bass line, that bass note, the reverb decay kind of just carries you into this tumbling greens. A pickup screams alone above the square. Whoa, sing softly. Above the trees where Billy breathes, we float upon the air. Softly sing sweet songs. It's like there's this idea, this like sweet nothing, like just kind of being outside and together. And I don't know, like time it seems in broken dreams to sleep beside the stair. Silent scenes in motion means I'll wake you when we're there. Wow, man. Like, it really is just kind of the, like, I don't know, there's a bit of a beauty of just being together. And the vocal, like the ethereal nature to this, the harmonies behind it, the banjo. Oh, that noise. What's that screech sound? Is it keys? Like it. The bass line walk in. Definitely Quadrophenia sounds. Love, Rain O'er Me. Only love. This is nice. His tones. the whole entire ending of this again. We're gonna run this thing back. We're gonna do this again. From this piano here. Man. That sustain, that reverb, that feedback, I mean. Dude. This part right here is like my favorite part of the whole solo. Right there. Yeah. It sounds like I can't decide if it is. Does he have like a Pog? Does he doesn't use a Pog, does he? Because that it sounds like he's got a doubled guitar there. Like it sounds like a guitar-mini. I'd say like a Boston sound, like it's because I think I'm hearing like a third to it. So I think it sounds to me like he's doing a guitar mini with it, like he's doing it in thirds. Am I right? Whammy pedals adding thirds. Okay, I thought so. Because that guitar sound, the guitar tone where you hear like thirds always reminds me of Boston, especially like Foreplay Long Time. In particular, because the leads on that heavily feature the thirds sound. So when you hear like the double sound, that's why. This song was exemplary. I really, really, really loved the way it ended. I would love to hear this in more of a jam context, you know, as far as just like what they do with that live. But it was kind of just a wonderful thing about a Sweet Nothing. And like, again, just kind of being content in a moment. Like, there's a beautiful thing about that. You know, I can see, it's funny because the ones that you guys typically lean into, like, hey, this is going to be good, I always end up seeing what it is that you mean. I don't think Billy Breathes is the best one on the album, but I mean, I'm looking at the same, and again, this is the same band that does YEM. I can see as I get further into the catalog why it's so difficult to say like what a quintessential Phish song is, right? Because like, why wouldn't this be one of those ones that you would play like as a quintessential Phish song? Especially if you're trying to get somebody that's new into Phish. So like I can absolutely the longer I'm getting into it, the more I'm seeing the dilemma of what's I'm seeing that there aren't bad Phish songs, first of all, but that they're hard to pigeonhole. You can't do it. That song was tremendous. This one is slept away, and I'm actually going to go back a little bit to let it transition in. Ooh. I love this guitar sound. This very open sounding.
And I feel like it's surrounding me. The crowd intrudes all day till I'm finally swept away.
Oh.
finally swept away. I'm finally swept away. I'm finally swept away.
Wow. Oh.
I'm finally swept away.
Gosh, dude.
I'm finally swept away. Finally swept away.
What is it with their minute and 20-second songs being so big and impactful, man? Their less is more stuff really hits me between the eyes. Like, because there are the I can, again, going along with this theme of how I've kind of connected to the albums from Rift to Hoist to Billy Breathes. There's certainly this feeling of, like I said, watching my life kind of played out through these albums, and as I've gone through and made it through the bad parts and have found life getting progressively better and better with the acceptance of what my circumstances are and like, you know, willingness to change my life. There have been along the way much difficulty. There has been along the way much difficulty, but there has also been these moments of like clarity and realization and of like, wow, I would not be here happy right now if I was still there then. And there's just, sometimes I still like, and I'll be at like family dinner or something on Sundays and kind of sitting around, and like my mom will, or my sister will comment on it and being like, you know, it's crazy to think that you're just like here with us on a Sunday. Like, I'm in a position of my life now where I care enough to go have Sunday dinner with my family. And that's, to me in my life, a very big deal. And there are occasionally moments that we'll be sitting there and just kind of be happy in that realization, like that all of us are together, and we haven't been for a long, long time. And there's an element of me that gets swept away in those moments when I think about how far it is I've actually come, and, you know, like give myself a little bit of grace to be like, man, it was really terrible back there. And just, I don't know, this being swept away in moments of clarity has been kind of a theme in my life lately. And it doesn't make it any less difficult to make it through day-to-day life. And it doesn't make me feel any less lonely as I go through life. But there is this realization, like I have these moments now that I hadn't had prior, where I can look at my life and feel content and kind of get swept away in that clarity, I guess. The clarity of that comes with introspection. I don't know. It's kind of a beautiful thing, and I think that there's something huge here. I'm gonna just go through this again, because again, it's a minute. Like, what are we doing that we don't have a minute 16 seconds to waste? Just what
you do is all I see. And I feel like it's surrounding me. The crowd intrudes all day till I'm finally swept away.
That part right there, dude.
I'm finally swept away. I'm finally swept away. Swept away.
There's just a magic to this, especially after all of the travel, like the journey until we got here. There's just a magic to this song. After Billy Breathes, and the dividing line. Oh. You hear these like reverse guitar noises? Wow.
Much ado is all I see. In fact, it is surrounding me. The seething crowd intrudes all day, till finally I'm swept away. Although I thought my roots were deep, rivers that I sank them into hillsides steep, and river banks that soon erode, and canyons that have overflowed.
It's getting kind of sexy scary. That is... Oh, man. We're gonna go back and hear this. I didn't want to talk in the middle of it, but the round, the creepiness, the bass line, and that part, swept away. Their vocal, the things that they do with their vocals make me so happy, dude. This Steep was also good, and what a contrast coming into Steep after Swept Away. It's almost kind of cyclic, like it puts you right back into whatever it was. You get steeped again. So Prince Caspian is next, and if you guys didn't know, C.S. Lewis is like my second favorite author. I loved the Narnia books. I've read almost all of C.S. Lewis's actual books. I love C.S. Lewis. Ooh, this is a creepy, goofy, yummy noise. That really wet sound. Ooh. Boom, boom, boom. This bass line, this just walk-in sound. And then it just drops to guitar, like a chunky guitar, with the bass walking in the back.
Oh, to be Prince Caspian, afloat upon the waves.
Float upon the waves.
Oh, to be Prince Caspian, afloat upon the waves.
Such a chunky tone, dude.
Oh, to be Prince Caspian, afloat upon the waves.
It's progressively gotten bigger and bigger.
Oh, to be Prince Caspian, with nothing to return to but the demons in their caves.
There's definitely, again, I'm hearing horn kind of that Rhine wine. But there's this, again, again, with nothing to return but demons in their caves.
Nothing to return to.
There's just this, it creates this bigness, you know?
Prince Caspian, afloat upon the waves.
Float upon the waves.
Oh, to be Prince Caspian, afloat upon the waves.
Tone change.
Caspian,
and you've kind of got him doing the O and around.
Prince Caspian, and the children in the fields all sowing seed and chaffing.
What's that noise?
Oh, to be Prince Caspian, who stumps instead of feet.
I'm going to go back a little bit, but do you hear just that? It's like, it sounds like a tapping noise, but I'm guessing it's hammer on a pull off since I haven't seen Trey tap before.
And the children
but it's ping ponging and it's so nice.
Oh, to be Prince Caspian, who stumps instead of feet.
I love this noise. There's a simplicity and an earnesty to his music that I just connect with. And then we're coming down. But you still have these. The openness of this sound, the softness of it. The delicacy that you hear the keys, the drums, the guitar, the bass. Yes. I just want to hear it again. This part was just so nice. And you just get really... it's so good. What an ending. Oh, to be Prince Caspian. This album... right now, there's a recency bias, so I don't want to jump too quickly into saying what I think about it. I will say this was a much more user-friendly album. It didn't have nearly the tension and release that some of their music did. It still had some tension and release. And it was awesome. When it would light off, it lit off, you know. But it felt like it was songs that could fit on the radio, and the songwriting, the lyricism was immaculate here. Like the last three albums, you know, in the timeline. So like not my timeline, but in their timeline, you know, Rift, Hoist, and Billy Breathes have been just lyrically amazing. And this was easily the least mustardy album I've heard yet, and definitely the album I'm going to tell Crimson Raider he needs to be listening to. This whole album is going to go on the Hold the Mustard playlist that I've made for people who haven't quite gotten into Phish yet. But There was just a relatability to this, an earnesty to this. It was performed and sang with conviction. I still hear friendship, but I also still kind of find myself feeling like I read words that I thought, like feeling like words I'd said, feelings I'd had were conveyed in as many words in music, and that made this really special to me. I'm not going to go and just jump in to say it's my favorite yet, because right now Rift is still really kind of sitting in that position, with the consideration that a live one is just better. There is such a beauty to the studio albums, though. And like, again, lyrically speaking, just being able to connect with it in this way, being able to look at the lyrics as I go, I really enjoyed that. This was a great album. I'd say it's either second or third right now, but yeah, I don't know if I like it better or worse than Hoist yet. We'll have to check. Guys, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for the positivity that you show both to me and to one another. Continue to be the best, and until I see you next, be introspective and consider the birds. And check out JEMP Radio here in about 20 minutes, because I will be on with my friend Andy. So, I love you guys. I will talk to all of you later. Thank you for being here. Goodbye.